Well, welcome back, everyone. We're joined now by Richard Burke with ProtestPRAD. First off, how are you doing this morning?
I'm great. I feel good.
Well, we're glad for that. Glad to have you on this morning because I have a feeling your time is going to get short here pretty soon because you're going to have a lot of work on your table here with ProtestPRAD because homeowners are getting letters in the mail talking about home valuations. Of course, it's tax day. Maybe somebody feels like maybe they need to change their valuation a little bit, and you're the guy to talk to about that, right?
That's right.
All right, so tell us a little bit about what ProtestPRAD is all about and why it's so important for folks to know about it.
Well, your taxes on your property are based on the value that the county puts on your property. And so this time of year, we get those letters in the mail, and it tells us how they valued the property. But and those guys at PRAD do a great job. They are really, and they're not way off in their evaluations, but they use a mass appraisal model when they do the taxes. And but you are entitled to pay the least amount of tax you owe. And so if your valuation is a little bit higher than you think it should be, then you can go to ProtestPRAD.com and you can enter all your information there, and we will protest your value and try to get it reduced. Well,
like I said, I think that's a great thing for sure. I mean, I'm always in favor of paying less in taxes for sure. So I'm already on board with that. But let's also just talk about the education that comes with that as well, of like educating, you know, like I said, homeowners on why they should be aware of what they should be paying, and like I said, if maybe, like I said, because it's not one of those things that you're saying, you know, you're coming in protesting saying PRAD's doing a bad job or anything like that, but sometimes get that value down a little bit and you can save a little money. I mean, talk about why that education is so important.
Well, most people don't understand exactly how it works, and the guys at PRAD are great. I was on their citizen review board for a number of years, and they do a great job. But they do it with what's called a mass appraisal, which means that they look at a group of houses together. Okay. You're entitled to pay the least amount. And when we look at it, we're going to look at your house individually, and we're going to specifically look for evidence that supports a lower valuation. Okay. And you need to be diligent about that because it builds over time, and your taxes go up. Now, there's great news this year. Okay. There are 7 taxing entities in the Amarillo area. Wow. 5 of them, their tax rate went down. Okay. So your taxes are likely to go down this year, but that also sort of makes it tempting not to protest your value. But that value builds on itself each year, so it's good to be diligent about that.
Yes, and so like me, I'm a homeowner, and so obviously you get this letter in the mail. What are the steps that someone can take if they are in need of your services? What's kind of the next step in that?
The easiest thing to do is just go to ProtestPRAD.com. You can enter the information you got on your tax form into that, and that's all there is to it. We charge $250 to do a tax protest. And however, if we're not successful and we don't reduce your appraised value, then we refund the money because we want you to do it every year because you need to be diligent about it. So if we reduce the value, then that's good, and you start from a lower place the next year.
Well, that's a good thing for sure. And so you said one of the things, getting those letters in the mail, I mean, obviously the sooner they can get on it, the better. But when is that kind of line of when it's okay, it's too late to do it now? What's people's time frame that they need to get on this?
It has to be in by, I believe it's May 15th.
May 15th, okay, so got just about a month.
Yeah, you got about a month to get it in there.
Yes, well, so how long have you been with ProtestPRAD, and kind of where does your passion stem from, you know, for helping the community?
I've been a realtor for many, many years, and in the real estate world, realtors are in the business of valuing property, so we have training and expertise in that area, and then and I pay taxes, so I don't want to pay more taxes. So we have done this kind of work for people for many, many years, but we saw that there were a lot of people who didn't have the expertise or the ability to effectively do that. So we decided to as technology evolved, that we would offer a service to do it for folks. And we've been well received. We really have been, people love us, and we try to take good care of them.
Well, we think it's a great service for sure. So one more time, your website where folks can get in contact with you.
ProtestPRAD.com.
All right.
Simple as that.
Perfect.
And
Yes.
self-explanatory.
All
Well,
right.
thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it. Keeping the community informed is what we're all about. So thank
All right.
you.
Thank you.
Well, coming
Bye-bye.
up here in a little bit, Callie is here to talk about a walk.